Hey,
Hi, everybody.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Living North Metro. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And we have Greg and Sheila Fossen, our producers.
Hi, everybody.
We have Ernestine Garcia, our affirmation and prayer person today.
No, reading.
Reading. You're doing something, I don't know. And we also have Barb and Salo, our musical guests. So thank you for joining us. We're going to start with an invocation. Evocation. My words.
For you to say.
Yeah, it is. Well, anyway, let's pray.
Let's do.
As we come into the place where we recognize that God is all that there is, we're empowered to know that we are one with God, and that is all that matters. We have our being, we have our purpose, we have our love, all from the source, God, always God, the one life, the one perfect expression of all life. And as I know this to be true for myself and for Reverend Valerie, I know it for those who are joining us today, especially Greg and Sheila, Barb and Salo, Ernestine, for giving of their service. This day is the day that God has made, and I rejoice in it. I give thanks for all those who are joining us, knowing that we're blessed by your presence. I accept for this day that this service unfolds perfectly, and all those that join us get exactly what they came here to get. And so with a grateful heart, an open mind, I now let go of this word, knowing that it will fulfill itself. It is already done in the mind of God. And for this, I say thank you. I let it go. I let it be. And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
So it is. So it is.
That felt good.
Yeah, so
Now I introduce Barb and Salo.
Yeah.
Barb and Salo, yay!
Yay! Yay!
What fun.
Oh, well, we've got a song. Perhaps I will start my day with love.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps you will.
Perhaps I will. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, that's what I get more of, is peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, that's what I get more of, is peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, that's what I get more of, is joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, that's what I get more of, is joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yes,
you.
we might start the day.
It is a good
Yes.
today.
And you started it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
We'll be back to you in a few minutes. We got some
Yay.
announcements and some things to do. And we'll
You-
see you then.
Okay.
You got it. Thank
Got
you.
it. So like us and check in at CSL on Facebook at CSL North Metro. Go to our website at cslnorthmetro.org. You can go to contact us and get yourself added to the email list so that you have all the links and all the information about the things we're doing. You can also go to the prayer request and request a prayer, and then we'll pray on it all week. And the affirmations and the prayers that we do in the service and the ones from prior are there too. And there's lots of good stuff on our website. So check it out. Today's title is Perhaps I Will. Our guest artist you've already met, Salo, Stanley, and Barb Heinzelman. And today's reading is from The Pathway of Roses by Christian D. Larson. And so now we're going to go do the affirmations with Ernestine.
Hi, Ernest.
Good morning. Affirmations for the week of April 18th, 2021. The universe welcomes me to limitless joy and good every day. I see the presence of God fully in my reflection. My words and actions come from my heart always. The spark of creativity and beauty is present in everything I do. Love and wisdom guide all my decisions. I accept my wholeness and perfection in every moment. And so it is. Okay, the next part is that I get to read the reading from The Pathways of Roses by Christian D. Larson. To live for a great purpose is to live in the world of great ideas. And great ideas awaken great thoughts. Great thoughts produce great minds. From great minds proceed great works. And great works constitute the building material with which the kingdom upon earth is to be constructed. When we begin to live for a great and good purpose, we place in action the law that causes all things to work together for good. Henceforth, nothing is in vain. Every person, thing, or event that comes into our world will add to the welfare, the richness, and beauty of that world. All things become ministers of the life that is real life. We have been giving our best everywhere, and we are receiving the best from every source in return. To live for that which is high, lofty, and sublime is to walk with God. The love, the life, the power, and the wisdom of the infinite will be with us, and to have such companions is to be blessed indeed. Every moment will give us the peace that passeth understanding. Every hour will be filled with the joy everlasting, and every day will be 1,000 years in celestial kingdoms on high. And so it is.
Good.
Thank you.
That was
Beautiful.
beautiful. Thank you so much. More music?
More music. Here come Barb and Salo to the rescue.
Music.
Yay.
Yay. Oh, here is a song we wrote. It's on our second CD. It is already done. It's called You Gotta Know It. And you can find that CD on barbandsalo.com.
Go do it. They have wonderful music.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So here is You Gotta Know It. You gotta know it before you see it. Feel it before you believe it. You gotta know it before you see it. Feel it before you believe it. Faith is a bird that feels dawn breaking and sings while it's still dark. Faith is a bird that feels dawn breaking and sings while it's still dark. confidence in what we hope for. Now faith is the confidence in what we hope for. You gotta know it before you see it. Feel it before you believe it. You gotta know it before you see it. Feel it before you believe it. Faith is the light that guides you through the darkness. Faith is the light that guides you through the darkness. You gotta know it before you see it. Feel it before you believe it. You gotta know it before you see it. Feel it before you believe it. You gotta know it before you see it. Feel it before you believe it.
Yay!
Well, I know and believe that you are great musicians and
Yeah.
great artists and great songwriters. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
We are so blessed by you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, we'll get back to you. We're going to do our thing now. Here we are again, honey.
Here we are.
So I thought about this, and when I thought of the word perhaps, it's like, who uses that anymore? And that was the title that came, Perhaps I Will. And I can compare perhaps to like maybe. It's kind of the same thing. What can I say? It's a word that's kind of mealy mouthed, because you say, will you help me today? And the person says, I don't know, perhaps. It's like saying no to you, because it's a way of avoiding saying yes and saying no. And that is in the human realm. But in the spiritual realm, saying perhaps is like setting an attention with spirit, because spirit only knows yes. So if you say perhaps to spirit, then spirit's hearing a yes. And if you say no to spirit, spirit will never force itself on you. It's that gentle, it's that loving. But any chance of you saying yes or perhaps creates an opening, and that opening creates an urge, and that urge stays with you. Perhaps you're going to start meditating regularly. Spirit knows that perhaps is deep within you really a yes. This is what you want to do. You want to practice more in your life. You want to become the spiritual being that you already are. You want it to show up in all aspects of your life. You want to just have the revelation of who you are be shown to the world. And that can start with a perhaps. I know for me, all my perhapses and all my maybes are direct input from spirit. That spirit says something to me and I hear it, and something in me wants to do it, but I come up with all these excuses why I can't do it. Oh, I'm too busy. I don't know if I can have time. I don't really know how. All those excuses come up, but the perhaps I will is still there, and spirit lingers on, just waiting for the opportunity for the final yes, and that yes can come anytime. I was also thinking that perhaps and maybes were created from past pains that have happened in your life, or guilt or fear or resenting something or blame. These were all blocks that keep you from saying yes to Spirit's calling, the greater you that wants to be shown in the world, that wants to reveal itself. So when you think about the pain that you've made, I want to tell you a story about this guy. I just thought about this. I knew this guy. He was a client, and he only came to me about 2 or 3 times. And he came and he was complaining about his ex-wife. And I thought, well, he must be going through a divorce or something. It turns out he was married for 5 years, and that was 30 years ago. And the guy's still going on about the pain he caused him. And she did this to me, and she did that to me. So he's into this blame. But there was a inkling of guilt that I could feel from him, that he probably was the greatest cause of this whole mess. But 30 years, I mean, dude, get on with it. And it was obvious to me after 2 or 3 sessions, because he didn't come back after the last session, that he just wanted to remain in his pain. He wanted to remain in that blaming place because he was afraid to take another chance. Mm-hmm. He was afraid to take an opportunity to love again, and to know that hurt is part of love sometimes. That with great, well, from my experiences, great love always is fulfilled. And all we have to do is be present with whatever is going on with us. Be present with the pain, be present with the blame, be present with the guilt, the shame, the resentment, and know that it isn't real. It's just something that is wanting to come forth and be released. So how do we get to a place where we can finally release, finally let go of all the pain and everything? I got 3 little things that I'd like to share with you that I used in my early days of coming into this teaching. And the first one is inventory of your thoughts. What does that mean? Well, it means look at your thoughts. Mm-hmm. Look at what is being repeated in your mind a lot of times. Like, for instance, that gentleman, all the blame that he put on this woman that I didn't know, and possibly she was just this lovely woman who didn't connect with this guy, and part of me saw why without judgment. But you take inventory of these thoughts and just keep track of them, because once you recognize them, then you can change them. Right. Once you recognize them, then you can change them. And in changing them, you're affirming to the universe that yes, not perhaps, but that yes, that I can get past this, I can grow, I can expand. So that's one way of getting to a place where you can let go of all the blame, the shame, the guilt, and the pain. You can release it just by recognizing it and letting it go. Another way is to take an action, any action. Is there something that you've been holding back on for a long time because of pain that you suffered, or because you tried it once and you failed and you feel guilty about being a failure? Well, try it again, or try something new. Mm-hmm. Take an action, any action, because action, there's an expression that's in our teaching, is treat and move your feet. So treating or prayer is an action you can take, but go further with that action by taking an action, because something that gets this energy moving, that gets the energy kind of swirling and moving around, so it can be released and something new can come forth, a new idea, a new way of being.
So that reminds me of a book by Lynn Grabhorn, and she explains it like this: like, you've got all this power flowing through us like water in a hose, and when we block it, the water can't go through.
Right.
And so it was easy for me to see. It's obvious when there's a kink in the hose and you're trying to drag it wherever you're dragging it, and there's a kink in the hose, the water cannot come out. And when we have that kink in our thoughts and that block in our thoughts, that's not allowing spirit to flow through us, then we get stuck. And it doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much to just a little tiny unlessening of that kink, just a little tiny bit of letting the water go through, and then it starts flowing again, and then we can be who we came here to be. But we get to look at those places where we're blocking the flow, just like the kinks in the hoses. And you can think about it, sometimes we think there's a lot of them and we just can't get to it, but if you're looking at the hose, you just go one kink at a time and you let a little bit through, kink at a time.
I love that, one kink at a time.
One kink at a time.
That reminds me of saying, I said earlier that saying perhaps to spirit is like telling spirit yes in a way, because it knows you like you know you. And if you say perhaps to spirit, what you're really saying is, I'm not ready, but I'm willing to do this. It's kind of like, I've used this example before. It's kind of like saying perhaps, or maybe to spirit, it's kind of like putting a pinhole in a dam.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually the pressure is going to build up so much that dam's going to just move away, and all this energy will flow to you, and you'll be astounded by the ideas and the thoughts that come forward, that you get to move on and just experience the greatness of spirit as your life.
And I just want to tell, you were talking about that person that came to you. I used to have a man that came to our center and would ask for prayer after the service. And so I would sit down and he would tell me all the things that were going on in his life. And so we would pray. And then he'd start telling me all the things that were going wrong in his life. And I'm like, dude, we just opened your hose and you're closing it again already. You haven't even stepped away from me yet. So we have to be willing. We have to be willing to be willing. And I think that's what perhaps is being willing to be willing.
Exactly.
And I can think of times when I was willing to be willing to be willing. And that was enough.
Yeah.
So
that's that pinhole.
Yeah.
That's that perhaps.
That's perhaps.
That's that maybe.
Yeah.
Which is different in human form. It's so interesting, because if I use maybe or perhaps to another human being, I'm really inside of me saying no, and the other person gets that. But with spirit, it's just a whole other story. You say perhaps or maybe that.
It's a pinhole.
It's pinhole, and it's going to burst.
Yeah. Or it's an opening of the kink.
Yes.
And allowing spirit to flow through us.
So the third way that may help you get past wherever you are in your life force and your spiritual journey is to build something. Build, maybe create a symbol and paint it or draw it, and allow that symbol to be the symbol of your freedom, the symbol of your breaking, of your pinhole bursting, a symbol of who you are as a spiritual being. Maybe you have a sacred, maybe you can build a sacred place in your home someplace. If you don't have an altar, make an altar and create that altar with things that are sacred to you. Like I used to, when I first started in this journey, I was doing a lot of hiking and getting out into nature, and I'd find rocks or feathers that at the point I'd be having some thought, and that thought would be alive, and then I'd see this feather and it would represent that thought to keep it alive. So when I look at it, I would see that thought and it would come back to me. So I got a great story. I put this ring on today because I haven't been wearing it for a while because it's too loose. I can wear it during the summer, but in the winter, it falls off my hand, and I almost lost it a couple of times. So I was in this class called Sacred Coupling, and me and another practitioner were facilitating it, and she was married and I was single at the time, so we kind of represented both factors, the married people and the single people. And it was, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks long, and we did different things. But at the end, we asked people to bring a piece of jewelry that represents the ceremony that we were going to do at the end, and it was going to be marrying yourself to God. And I started thinking, and we were going to participate too as facilitators. We were going to participate in this exercise. So I thought, what am I going to wear? And Spirit says, your birthstone is emerald. Get an emerald somewhere, a ring or a necklace or something. And at the time, I was kind of in straits for not having a lot of money. And I thought, how am I going to afford an emerald? And I went to jewelry stores, and they were expensive, and they weren't in my budget. And it stayed, that urge stayed within me. How am I going to do this? I know I'm supposed to have an emerald, and I know that I want an emerald, and I know that that possibility is there, but how? So I stayed in that prayer of how. So one day I'm watching TV, and this commercial came on for a pawn shop, and ding, the light came on. Why don't I go look at a pawn shop? You can get things cheaper there. So I went to 2 or 3 pawn shops, and finally I went to this one, and there it was. This ring sitting there, and I asked the pawn keeper how much it cost. I think it was $60, which wasn't that much. And I said, $60. So I bought it, but I made him write on the receipt that it is a guaranteed real emerald, because I wanted to make sure I was going to get some schleppy emerald for Mary in spirit. I wanted the real thing. So he wrote it down, and I paid for it, and I went to another place to have them look at it and let me know that it was real. And it turned out it was real gold and a real emerald. So eventually I went and married myself to the Spirit of God within me and had this ceremony. And that was so moving. And to this day, it's a symbol of my breakthrough, my opening up to the perfect partner to be in my life, the perfect person to be married to. And I guess it worked, because here we are.
It still took a while.
Still took a while. Well, in spirit, there's no time and
That's true.
space.
There isn't.
It unfolds the way it unfolds, just like the whole journey of trying to find the emerald. It took that period of time. Because I started, if it was a 6-week class, I started looking at the beginning of the 6 weeks, and it took me nearly to the end to find the ring. But it all worked out in perfect order. So find a symbol for you that is sacred. To me, that ring always will mean the marriage of me to spirit, and that is a sacred place to live from.
We still have lots of rocks and things that we pick up. We have the rock from my first sweat lodge. We still have that one, and we have rocks from Carl and Cynthia's place, from hikes that we took, and feathers. We have feathers and all kinds of that stuff, huh?
Yeah, they're constant reminders of where you, at different points of your journey, where you were and how much it means to you. Because it's like taking a picture of it, a spiritual picture of it, that these things represent my freedom, my movement forward, my expansion, my constant growth.
Well, and we also use them to meditate with too, to just like hold that that whatever that quality is of that particular stone, to hold that quality while we're meditating too. So that's kind of helpful, I think, too.
Did you keep that thing by that little game thing that quote that we?
Oh, yeah, we did keep it. So it said, it said, what you're worried about today. Today is the end of what you're worried about yesterday. What was that? You have it?
There it is. This came to us.
Remember, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday, and that's by Dale Carnegie.
Say that again.
Today, remember, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. And we do that, all of us.
I thought it was so appropriate for this week's talk about carrying pain, worrying about the past, worrying about things that no longer even exist in your life, and just letting them go, letting them all go.
For spirit, it's all now. And nothing's ever held against us. It's always absolute pure love, open all of the time, just waiting for our yeses, waiting for our perhapses, even waiting just so patiently to say, yes, I want to live that spiritual life. I want to let go of the worries that I worried about yesterday that I'm carrying in today. And I want to begin to follow that path of understanding that I am a spiritual being and that I am eternal, and that this path, this journey into form is such a temporary thing. Mm-hmm. And it I don't know, as we get older, I can see how temporary it is and how short it was. But I can remember as a child when I couldn't wait till Christmas, and then I couldn't wait till my birthday, and then I couldn't wait till summer. And then comes a point where it's like, wow, I wish I hadn't wished all that time away.
Why is it going by so fast?
Right.
I just had a birthday. Why am I having another one?
And so when we wake up to that journey of we are spiritual beings, and these things that feel so real and so troublesome and so difficult right now are simply bumps in the road on our spiritual journey, and we can lock into them like some people do and stay with it and carry that with us on our journey, or we can understand this is a thing that I'm going through, and it too shall pass. I was reading something by Michael Beckwith yesterday, and I just want to ask you these questions that I'm asking myself for some of the things that I seem to be hanging on to right now, that I understand I need to let go of, and I understand what happens when we hang on to things, and still sometimes I get myself hung up on something that seems to be important, that I need to focus on what I don't want as opposed to focusing on what I do want. Mm-hmm. So the first question is, what quality must I cultivate to shift this experience? And so that's a really good question to ask ourselves, is what is the quality that you want to cultivate to shift an experience you might be having? Is it love? Is it peace? Is it truth? Is it harmony? What is the quality? And then, as looking at this experience, what skills am I being asked to develop? That's a good question too. Instead of saying, oh, woe is me, I'm going through this circumstance and it's so difficult and it's so hard, and shifting the focus. It's like unkinking the hose to allow the spirit to flow through. What skills am I being asked to develop? Is it patience? Is it kindness? Is it love? Is it truth? Is it peace? I'm inviting you to ask yourselves these questions as we ask ourselves these questions. I think it's really nice to ask ourselves these questions as we go along, and because sometimes we do get just a little hung up on this thing or that thing, because we are living in the human world and it is our experience, and we don't have to stay stuck in it. I mean, the situation is the situation, and the more attention we put on it, the more focus we put on it, the more we make it the bad thing, or make the other person the bad thing, then the more of it we're going to get. Mm-hmm. Because what we focus on expands. So we are invited to change our focus to, what is it that I'm being asked to develop with this situation so that I can move out of this into my next greater yet to be?
So the important thing here is the what as opposed to why.
Right.
Because when you ask what, you're opening up to the universe to answer that question. When you ask why, the universe will give you more of the same thing, because that is the why. The why is always what caused you to have the experience that you're having in the first place. So never ask why. Always ask what or how.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
You got some more questions?
What would life have me do here?
What would
What would life have me do here? And I don't know. I can't speak to your situations. I can only begin to ask myself these questions and go, wow, what is being asked of me here? What is mine to do here? And go forward with that. What can I learn from this? I think that's a really, really good one, because we are here, we are here to learn and grow. We are here to become, we're here, I think, to recognize that we are spiritual beings and that we live this physical life, and that is an experience we're having, but not our truth.
Right.
It's temporary, unless we choose to carry it on for 30 years and be still stuck in the same thing.
Yeah.
Because that's a choice, and we get to choose that. So this is a different thing. My dormant thought patterns manifest in my life. That's where I'm shortcut to a miracle. So my dormant thought pattern is I always have too much to do. And I always have too much to do, until there are times when I can go, oh, so put it in a list, prioritize it, and start knocking things off. And it's just amazing when I stop thinking I have too much to do and start doing the things, just knocking them off, how much I can get done when I'm not wrapping myself around that dormant thought pattern of mine. And here's a thing that Mark Twain said that I think is really interesting. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus.
Yeah.
So what that means to me is we're going to see what we expect to see. And if we're expecting somebody to be rude and obnoxious, then that's what we're going to see. Or if we're expecting them to be kind, then that's the thing we'll see. Or whatever it is that we're focusing on, what we're focusing on is always expanding.
We were talking about that earlier before we went on the air, that we always see what we're looking from. So if you're looking from your pains, if you're looking from the hurt that you had, if you're looking from the fear, then you're going to find things that prove you right. So look from someplace else. Look from peace, look from harmony, look from joy, look from creativity, because it's always there. And one thing I know that's true about all of life is our greatest challenges are our greatest teachers.
Yes.
And if you can get to a place in the midst of the challenge to see that it's a great teacher, it's brought you something that probably you came to this lifetime to experience, to overcome, to grow, then you can see it as a good thing and not necessarily a disaster. So what is your greatest challenge right now? And when I use greatest, I don't mean it has to be a huge thing. It could be something as simple as, I don't know how to do this. Something's before me and I don't know how to do this.
And I had to learn one more thing. We were talking about that before. It's like, I don't want to learn a new thing today. And we get to.
Yeah, we get to. Because we're alive.
Yeah.
Because we're in this physical world. And what a joy it is
to
be on the planet during this time. During some of the greatest challenges of the planet, here we are in the midst of it. And we get to rise above it and be that shining star that the planet's looking for. Even if it's to make a difference in one person's life, that is so worth coming to this planet to do, to make a difference in one person's life, just by you being you, the greater you, the more profound you, the you that knows the truth, that we are spiritual beings having this human experience, and we do bump into each other occasionally, and we do make mistakes, and we do have challenges, but there's also the glory of overcoming challenges, of overcoming mistakes, of growing and expanding and to our greater yet to be. How joyous can one, I can't think of anything more joyful.
Yes, and we have the opportunity to do this, and when we get that, we're judging ourselves, and Spirit is never judging us. Spirit is always just enveloping us in that love and that peace and that truth and that harmony and that joy that we get to wake up and recognize when we're ready.
I sure love working with you.
It's kind of nice.
We're so blessed. You know, we get to play in spirit together and to see each other grow and expand and go through challenges with each other. I mean, it's a joy. People used to ask me, because this is my 5th marriage, and people used to ask me, how can you get married so fast again? Why do you do that? And it's like, I take a chance on love. I'm not afraid of love, and it proved me right that I had to go through all those different steps to find the real love, and it's so rewarding. So don't give up on yourself. Don't give in to guilt and shame and pain and blame. Step above it and take a chance on love. Yeah. Love yourself. Yeah. Get yourself a ring. Marry yourself to God. Yeah. Build yourself a symbol. Do something. Take an action. Take a look at your thoughts and change them. You can do this because you get to be you, doing you. Mm-hmm. What a great thing that is.
Mm-hmm. And we also do sessions. So, you know, if there's somebody that you need to talk to, we're really good at listening and allowing you to discover what would heal you yourself, as opposed to somebody telling you, do this, do this, do this, because the answers are always within.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Always.
If
we can see you so you can see you, then things will change. Always.
Yes. So, think we should pray?
Yeah.
You want to start today?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thanks. I love change. So if you would just take some cleansing deep breaths, breathing in the Spirit of God, breathing out, releasing all your cares and concerns. And together we recognize that in all of the universe, there is only one thing going on.
Yes.
And that's the life, the creative energy that we call God. Mm-hmm. And it is everywhere present. There's no place where God is not, for God is right where you are, right where I am, right where everybody is. God's center is here and now, yet it's not bound to the here and now, because it's more than that. It's more than anything we can ever imagine. It is the source of peace and harmony and love and joy and freedom and power and clarity, creativity, inspiration. All this and so much more, God is. God is life. My life, Reverend Valerie's life, Greg and Sheila, Ernestine, Barb and Salo, all the musicians that come, Stephan, as he writes the affirmations, all the people joining in our community, growing and expanding. Yes. Together we are the world. Yes. We are what this world has been looking for. We are the answers to all the questions. Yes. We are the solutions to all the problems. We are. I am. You are. Mm-hmm. And so I know that this day is so glorious that each individual who's listening, they can hear the sound of my voice, and even those that may watch later, right where you are, God is. Yes. Expanding through you, growing through you, becoming more of itself as you. Yes. And it is such a glorious journey that we get to experience with each other as we move from glory to greater glory, as we have our being in God, allowing God to guide us and direct us, as we take inventory of our thoughts and lose the ones that no longer serve us and empower the ones that serve us. Yes. I see this for each and every person here. I'm grateful for this, and I pass to Reverend Valerie.
Thank you. So I just take this moment to bless this planet, to bless everything on the planet, the oceans, the rivers, the trees, the forests, the animals, the people. Just understanding that right where each one is, God is.
Mhm.
And so we just hold each person, regardless of what they're going through, in that love and that light and that peace and that power,
Yes.
that oneness, and know that they are absolutely divinely guided and divinely supported, that they are eternal beings, that this life is here to teach each one of us something, and that we just allow that life to unfold in its perfection and its ease, and we just hold those people that are in pain and suffering and that are going through difficult things. We just hold them in that light and in that love and in that peace and in
Yes.
that oneness.
Yes.
We just know for them the love and the peace and the power that is present, and hold them as they go through their suffering and their challenges, and know that they are loved,
Mhm.
that spirit is right where they are going through this thing. And so I'm absolutely grateful for this day, grateful for the opportunity to do this service through this thing called StreamYard, so that we can still get together and we can still have this spiritual time together.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful
Yes.
for all the good in my life, grateful for all the good in that life of our spiritual community, grateful for all the good in Centers for Spiritual Living as we spread it out and spread it out and spread it out into the planet. And so I just am so grateful for all the love and all the peace and all the harmony, and that knowing that it is expanding, that it is becoming more plentiful around the world. And so in that absolute gratitude, I release this word into the spirit of love. I release it into the action of the law, knowing it is already done in the mind of God, and knowing it is done. I know there's nothing more for me to do but release it, let it go, allow it to be, and together we say, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Ashe. And woohoo! Thank you. And now, time for Barb and Salo. Yay!
Yay! Whoa, we know we've been prayed for.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one. In fact, our song that we've got right now, we wrote this week, and it's called Oh So Hum, which also means I am. And then you were in Reverend Valerie, one of your sections of your prayer is like, we bless the animals, the trees, and the air. Well, actually, we have that line here in our song because there is only one mind.
That's right.
Awesome.
So this will also kind of continue that meditative state. It's called Oh So Hum, and Salo wrote the song or the words, and I wrote the music.
Beautiful.
Oh, so hum. Oh, so hum. Oh, so hum. I am. Oh, so hum. I am the stars. I am the earth. I am the sum of love. Oh, so hum. Oh, so hum. Oh, so hum. I am the universe. I am the water. I am the margins. I am the sum of love. Oh, so hum. Oh, so hum. Oh, so hum. I am the animals. I am the trees. I am the air. I am oh, so hum. Oh, so hum. Oh, so hum. I am the sum of love.
Whoa.
Wow, that was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Oh, thank you for letting us share.
Wow. All right. We're on the right track now.
Absolutely.
So we're going to also hum some finances here and get the energy going with those people that want to donate.
Yes.
And we'll be right back with you. So,
Wait a minute.
yes.
So you can use the Venmo QR code. If you do a Venmo, you can go to our website, which is the easiest way, cslnorthmetro.org, and there's a couple ways to give there. And we take checks, and sometimes people drop cash by the house, and we take that too. So we're really grateful for everybody that helps us do this thing that we do by supporting us in attending on Sundays and donating. And thank you.
Yeah.
So.
And if you feel like you've gotten something from this and feel like giving, we'd appreciate that because it keeps us going. And we do have a vision for getting beyond just doing live streaming and having live people in our services. And we're holding that vision, and you can help us do that just simply by giving.
Yeah.
And so I call upon you to check your heart, see what it says. It says give, then give, because that's the way it works.
That is the way it works.
So take your energy and point it towards the screen, knowing that the light and the love is you. The abundance and the prosperity is you. The means of giving and receiving is right where you are. So repeat after me. I give thanks for this opportunity to give.
I give thanks for this opportunity to give.
I give freely.
I give freely.
With no strings attached.
With no strings attached.
Knowing that as I give,
it
comes back multiplied.
It comes back multiplied.
For this and so much more.
For this and so much more.
I say thank you, Spirit.
I say thank you, Spirit.
And so it is.
And so it is. Okay.
We get one more song.
We
do
Salo. Get one more song.
Looking forward to that.
Yes.
Yay. Oh, we just love you, and we are so grateful for being here. And today is your day.
Yes.
Today, this very moment. And here is a song that was written by Shania Twain, and it's Today is Your Day. And it is just it just talks about power. The power is found in the present moment, always.
Yes.
You got what it takes, you can win. Today is your day to begin. Don't give up here, don't you quit. The moment is now, this is it. I know that you can and you will get to the top of the hill. Part of the fun is the climb. You just gotta make up your mind that today is your day, and nothing can stand in your way. Today is your day, and everything's going your way. Today, 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 today. When somebody throws sticks and stones, all that can break are your bones. And life is gonna kick you around, then kick you again when you're down. But today is your day, and nothing can stand in your way. Today is your day, and everything's going your way. Today, today, today is your day. Brush yourself off, no regrets. This is as good as it gets. Don't expect more nor less. Just go out and give it your best. And today is your day, and nothing can stand in your way. Today is your day, and everything's going your way. Today, 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 today is your day. Just take one step at a time. I promise that you'll be just fine. Today, today,
That's beautiful.
There's no perhaps in that song.
No.
Today
Right
is
now.
your day.
Thank you. Today's our
Thank
day.
you so much.
You're going to say something about Zoom?
Oh, yeah. Join us on Zoom right after the service and share your aha moments. There's a link on the comments. So I can't see the comments, but you can. So just go right to that link, and also go to our website and sign up to get the emails, and then you'll have the links and all those things too. So, yeah.
So we're going to do a benediction and say until next week. So close your eyes and just join me by giving thanks to the Almighty God that is right where you are. Thankful for all the goodness in your life. Thankful for the changes that are taking place.
Mhm.
Thank you for the growth and the expansion. Thank you for everything, everything, everything. So very thankful and grateful, knowing that this service has fed everyone in one particular way or another, and that each one of us leaves this day lifted higher and,
Yes.
and
Yes.
more inspired.
Yes.
For this, I say thank you. I let it be. I let it go. And so it is.
So it is.
Bye.
Join us on Zoom.
Thanks, Greg and Sheila. Thanks, Ernestine. Thanks, Bob and Salo.
You're welcome. Great service.
Love you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Beautiful
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you. And Ernie too. Hi.
Hey. Hi, Ernie.
Okay, see you.
All right, see ya. See ya, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.